calling me. Hi.
Hi, Mia. Hold on. Sorry.
Turia's run away and I'm looking at a blank wall. Nothing surprises me anymore. This is just the times we live in.
Hi. Sorry.
Look at you. There you are.
Here I am in all of my glory.
From a cupboard deep inside my house, I'm Mia Friedman and welcome to No Filter. Turia Pitt knows a thing or two about adversity and resilience and how to roll when life gives you lemons, or even a shit sandwich as she might call it in her signature blunt, funny style. Turia is perhaps one of the most famous survivors in Australia. She was the victim of devastating burns after being caught in a bushfire during an ultramarathon in Western Australia in 2011. And now I think we can agree she's a national treasure, as well as being a mining engineer, an athlete, a motivational speaker, an author, and a mother. She has 2 sons now, a toddler and an 8-week-old newborn. And she, like all of us, is socially isolating. She's in a little coastal town. It's called Ulladulla and it's in New South Wales. And that's actually where she grew up. I wanted to call up Turia today to ask her about how to cope when life feels out of control. And having just put the baby down for his afternoon sleep, we crammed in a very quick Skype call. Who's locking down with you, Michael and the kids and your mum?
Yes, we're all here.
And in some ways, lockdown is kind of just what you do after you have a baby anyway, right?
That's because I was thinking it's actually not that different from my regular life, which I was thinking, and I'm actually a really boring person in general. But yeah, it's not very different at all.
Where do you guys live?
Well, we live down the coast, live in Ulladulla. So I guess we're still allowed to surf down here. We can go outside to exercise. I'm not really sure what it's like up in Sydney. I know you guys are allowed to exercise, yeah?
Yeah, everyone is allowed to exercise. There's a little bit of confusion about whether you can exercise and stop for a kebab or not.
I mean, I know some people feel like a kebab mid-run, so I don't know.
You do you, babe. Everyone's doing themselves.
Yeah.
I want to ask you in detail. I've become obsessed with people's life in lockdown routine, and I want you to take me through it, a typical day in your life, and I imagine every day is pretty much the same, from literally when you wake up, what time, just start with all the details, don't spare me anything.
Yeah, right. I guess it does change a bit from day to day because I have a newborn baby and a toddler. But our days start really early at 5:35. That's when the toddler wakes up and we'll have a cuddle with him, or this morning I played Lego with him and then the baby woke up, so then I fed him, and then we'll either try to go outside for a surf, or Michael will go for a dive, or we'll go for a walk on the beach or something, or we've been driving to some of the national parks in our area and just getting outside. And then the day goes quite fast, as it does. I know with kids it's hard because sometimes an hour will go really slowly.
Yeah.
But then sometimes you get to 5 in the hour and you're like, oh my God, I'm still got my pajama pants on. Where is the day gone? And then the night times are pretty crazy with kids. So we eat dinner really early at 5. Then we do the bath and sleepy time routine. Then Michael puts the toddler to bed. Then I'll stay up with the new baby. Then I'll put him down. Then I'll stay up for a couple of hours and do work. Then I'll feed the baby again. Then I'll sleep on the couch. Then the baby will wake me up. Then I'll go in and feed the baby. And then when I'm really tired, I'll go in and wake Michael up. This is sounding so boring, by the way.
It's sounding familiar though. I want more details.
Yeah.
What do you have for dinner? Who cooks and what do you eat for all your meals?
Look, because I've been at home, and this has been one of the really good things about being in lockdown has been I'm not working as much because there's 0 speeches, there's no photo shoots, there's no travel. So all of that stuff that I used to do, I don't do as much these days. So it's good because I get more time to write, which is actually the stuff that I really enjoy doing. And I'm spending heaps of time with my family and being at home. And I think when you're really busy working, it's great and it's really fulfilling. But I did find there was a tendency to not be able to switch mindsets very quickly to go from work life to home life.
Mm.
I don't know if that makes sense. And I work from home a lot as well. So I think that's hard
Yeah, it
as
is
well.
hard. It's like all our boundaries have collapsed and all our different spaces
Yeah.
have collapsed.
Yeah, a little bit. So I don't know. I'm enjoying like all of the family time that I'm getting at the moment. It's good.
What you didn't
Little
mention,
intense at times too,
well,
though.
that's true. What you didn't mention in your daily routine was the time that you and Michael spend gazing into each other's eyes.
Yeah. I mean, we might do that for like 5 seconds a day,
That's a
2
lot.
seconds. Yeah. Not that much. But this is like, I, like I miss spending one-on-one time with my toddler Huckabye, and I actually miss spending time with Michael too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's just the stage that we're at the moment.
It is a stage. Is your mum living with you permanently?
No, she's living at her house, which is like 100 meters away.
So you guys can actually go out and have a surf together and leave the boys at home with her, or is it all hands on deck?
Yeah, like Mum's pretty awesome. Like we're pretty lucky to have her. So if we wanted to go out and do something together, we'd be able to do that. But like, for example, Michael's gone for a dive and Mum and I are at home.
And is Michael still working?
No, because he was a helicopter pilot.
Oh.
So that's not happening either. So that's why, like, I'm trying to just look at all the positives. And I think, a lot of people's work has dried up or changed, or a lot of people have had to pivot. But for where we are in our lives at the moment, having like young kids and a new baby, it's actually perfect. Yeah, to have that opportunity to both be home so much.
So many people are struggling with things beyond their control and feeling like, hang on, this wasn't in the brochure. You've had a lot of experience with that. What insights have you got into how to handle your head and how to sort of practice resilience when it feels like everything's out of control?
Yeah, I always say to myself, just control the controllables. Like no one knows what exactly is going to happen with coronavirus. None of us really know all of the social distancing laws. We don't know how much toilet paper people are buying or what the economy is doing. And so it can be really easy to get caught up in all of those what ifs. But I like to just take a step back and just focus on what it is that I can do personally in my day to make it as good as possible. And I call that controlling the controllables. And I think as well, especially if you've got kids around at home, I think just limiting the amount of time that you've got the news turned on or that you're talking about the current pandemic that the world is facing, because there's not actually a lot that any of us can do to change it apart from staying at home, which everyone's doing anyway. So I think just focus on what you can actually do, how you can make your life better and more enjoyable and easier, and how you can be there for your family as well.
We're recording this in the lead up to Easter, just a few days before Easter. You live in a coastal town. What's the feeling in the town? Are there a lot of people sort of coming in to have holidays? There's been a lot of talk about how we must not, descend on towns and we must not try to go on holidays and we must all just stay home. What's the vibe in Ulladulla and where you live?
Look, so my area had really bad bushfires over summer. And so a friend and I started up this campaign. It was called Spend With Them. It was to support small businesses from fire-affected communities. And that went really well. And a lot of the small businesses that were featured were really grateful, and they did, really big trading days and everything. But I feel for the town because, that Christmas period is the busiest period of time for all of the small businesses down here. And the second busiest time is Easter.
Oh.
So we're not getting either of those. Having said that, I think if you do live in a regional area like Ulladulla, you'd have to be grateful for where you lived when you consider what things are like in larger cities like Sydney or even New York at the moment as well. So, yeah, it's just a shit time for everyone, and there's no amount of sugarcoating is going to change that. But you can still, like I said, focus on how you can make your day go as smoothly as possible and how you can try and be there for your family, and try, even though it's really hard, but try and just focus on the positives that the situation has brought us.
You know, when you said it's a shit time, I was wondering, you know, there are some people, often they're called men, who like to try to fix things. So, you know,
Yeah.
as women, we often, and I'm generalizing and being very heteronormative, but we
Yes.
we like to just talk about how we're feeling,
Yeah.
and then men try to often fix it when what we
Yeah.
just want to do is talk and feel like we're being
Yeah.
listened to. What sort of how did you feel when you were going through your recovery? Did you want people to sort of help try to turn you onto the bright side and say, look at the silver lining, and isn't it great that you can do this?
No, that's annoying. That's really
Yeah.
annoying, because if you feel sad or angry or down or defeated, and someone's like, oh, you know, look on the bright side, like you can go water the garden, isn't that amazing? That's annoying, because you feel like, well, they're not listening to how I really feel, and then you feel like your emotions aren't valid, when of course they are. You can't change how you're feeling. So I think even in this time, when people, you know, they're like, oh, you know, it's awesome, look at all the positives, which I try and do, but I also think there's real power in just accepting that it is crap, and that it is a very weird and unusual situation that has been forced upon all of us, that none of us were anticipating and none of us are particularly enthralled with. And you can just say, yeah, it's pretty shit, it's pretty crap. There's not much I can do to change it, but you know, each day is going to pass no matter what. And so today I'm just going to think of one thing that I could do that's going to make my day better. Or today I'm going to spend some time with playing Lego with my son, because you know, in normal life I never get to do that. So I think for sure there's power in just accepting how you feel and kind of just owning it, and not trying to deny it or trying to stifle it. But you can take it a step further and think, well, you know, I don't know how long have we been in isolation for?
100 years
It feels
approximately.
like, yeah, you know what I mean? So every morning we could wake up and say, yeah, today's shit just like yesterday, but worse. I think if we did that every day for 60 days, we'd probably feel really crappy by the end of it. So I think you can wake up and say, yeah, this is a weird and shit situation, but I'm just going to try and focus on one positive thing for today. Or you know, this is a weird and shit situation, but I'm still going to do that exercise virtual class that I said I was going to do.
How is motherhood different the second time around?
Just the same, except I've just got this really like needy and demanding toddler always around.
Were you chill the first time, or were you already chill? I found I was much more relaxed the second time.
Way more relaxed. Well, I think you know what you're doing. I think as well your expectations are managed.
Yeah.
So you're already cognizant of the fact that you're probably not going to get that much sleep. And so you're not surprised when that happens. You know, and I think you're just more realistic of what it's like. And so I think that's the thing with motherhood the first time around, because you don't know what it's like, and you think, well, my baby's going to sleep, and my baby's going to do this, and my baby's going to do that. And then when it doesn't do all of those things that you thought it would, you feel a bit disappointed. But you've just got such a low bar the second time around that you know, you can't be disappointed.
Are there things that you've done differently with baby number 2?
No, not particularly. But you know, with Huckabee, I was still working a lot and traveling with him and all of that stuff. And this baby, I haven't done anything like that. And I think, you know, this baby seems more relaxed. I mean, he's 8 weeks old, so who knows? Like, I also thought Huckabee was relaxed when he was 6 weeks old as well. So, you know. But yeah, I'm relishing it, because everyone says it goes so fast, and it actually does. So I'm trying to just really enjoy it and just savouring having a little baby around, because they're such beautiful little things.
They're so bloody cute. They're good time wasters too. Like
They're
just
so cute,
staring at them and chewing their little toes, even though you're not technically meant to do that.
And their little ears, their little noses.
I've been asking people what they've been doing to distract themselves and divert themselves, what they've been watching, what they've been listening to, what they've been reading. But I don't even know if that's a fair question to you, because if you've got a toddler and a newborn, it's not like you're going to have long, lazy evenings on the couch binging on Netflix.
No, that's why it's kind of like, selfishly for me, it's kind of perfect timing to be in isolation, because, I've been not seeing anyone and not doing anything for like the whole time Rahedi's been alive, sort of thing. So what I've been doing, I've been writing a lot, which is good. I've got my new book, which is coming out. Well, it's supposed to be coming out later this year. I don't know if that's going to happen now or whatever, but I'm still working to the original deadline, which is good because that's keeping me, busy and thinking about. The book is about happiness. So it's a crazy time to be, I guess, working on that sort of subject matter.
That's a great time. What's it called, the book?
Got happy in the title, and I think we're playing with like happy and other ridiculous aspirations.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I know. Well, but it's good because I did this little email wrap up where I sent out all of these little excerpts on the book of things people could do in their days to make them that little bit more enjoyable and a little bit more happy. And the feedback I've got is that it's worked. So I'm like, great, that's good that everything in the book actually works and isn't just stuff that I've just made up, which I would never do anyway.
Have you been watching anything on screens?
Tiger King.
Oh.
Have you seen that yet?
Yeah. No one's immune from that. Even if you've got a newborn and it's in isolation, it seems to be the compulsory viewing.
Is that just like a very strange show?
Yes.
Is it real? Like,
I think it's making everybody feel good about our lives. like we're not that shit.
Sometimes I watch it and just think like, surely they're just making this shit up.
Yeah.
Is it like a dramality?
No. It's real. It's a doco. It's a proper doco. It's America, man.
Yeah, but I guess it's just pure entertainment, which is good. So I've been watching The Tiger King, and I've been reading a lot.
What you reading?
I read. Have you read Edward?
No.
It's kind of a morbid topic about a little boy who survives a plane crash.
Oh, well, that's hopeful. Isn't it?
It's a really weird book to be reading when in that sleep-deprived,
yes,
highly emotional state, having a newborn. I read a book about London. I read that book, Such a Fun Age. Have you read that one yet?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm reading. I watch the news like maybe for 15 minutes every morning or whatever, and then I just turn it off, because I know for me anyway, the more I tune into the coronavirus pandemic, the more anxious and stressed it makes me feel, because it's such a big issue that we don't have any control over. So I like to keep in touch with what's happening in the world and stay a little bit informed, but it doesn't do me any favors to tune in all day.
Agree. I was listening to someone say it's not like you're going to read something that says the first 100 people to read this article are going to get the vaccine. It's not like there's no urgency in consuming all the news. It's like we kind of know what's going on now. We're doing what we've got to do, and things aren't changing that much from day to day.
No, which is great, and I think Australia has done so far a really, really good job. Yeah.
Hey, listen, my darling, it's so good to talk to you and see you.
It's good to talk to you, but this has been sort of like a bit of a hasn't really been like an upbeat, like super pumped.
That's not true. And also
let's go get this done. Let's go high energy. Hasn't really been one of those convos, but
I don't think anyone's feeling that way now. And if they are, they're on drugs.
I think that, but like, I think it's fine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. it is what it is.
Yeah, and we're all just doing our best, right?
Yeah. And what are you doing with your family?
We are in lockdown with my
Are you at
3
your
kids.
house?
Yeah, of course, at home.
Yeah.
So we've made a little makeshift podcast studio in a cupboard.
It's
And
great. It's
yeah,
great.
and so Luca's girlfriend Jessie is also living with us, and it's handy because she and I are co-hosts on Mamma Mia Out Loud, and so he's happy that she's here. And because we've got someone else in the house that's not immediate family, we're sort of on better behaviour, and I think that helps too.
No, that definitely would help because you wouldn't be like, throwing
Yeah.
a dinner plate at anyone or.
And there's less nudity as well, which is not, that's probably a win for everyone.
And do you feel compelled to get changed out of your pajamas in the morning?
To go to work, yes, because we're still running Mamma Mia, like we're still working. So weirdly, I feel busier than I have before. Like it gets to the weekend and I'm just like, oh my God, I so need the weekend to come. Even though the weekend isn't geographically any different to the week, it's still lovely to have, I'm finding the weeks are very, very, very busy because we've got like 90 staff and trying to make sure everyone's okay and that we're still making all our content and dealing with all our advertisers and our clients. So there's a lot to kind of juggle during the week.
Oh, God. That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, but at least I'm getting to sleep in the night, my love. At least I'm not being woken up by a newborn. I remember that kind of sleeping, waking state. No wonder Tiger King's freaking you out even more than most.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there the random hours of the morning feed and just going, is this show legit? What is this show?
Am I actually asleep and is this some weird dystopian nightmare?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it was really good to speak with you.
You too, beautiful.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Send my love to Michael and I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, I'll see you. It might be years from now, man.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
We might just emerge from our cocoons and go out to the light.
It's true.
Who knows? Hey, control the controllables.
Hugging's going to be so good when we can do it again.
Well, sending you a virtual hug from afar.
Love
good to
you.
speak with you.
Bye.
Bye.
This is actually the 3rd time that I've talked to Turia on No Filter. The other times were right after she and Michael got engaged, when she told me a really funny story about her engagement ring. And then we spoke again on the show last year after she had her first son, Hakavai. I hope you enjoyed Turia Part 3, the pandemic edition, and we'll link to those first 2 interviews in the show notes, as well as to our anxiety course, which has been helping those who are needing some extra support right now. Or you can just go to theanxietycourse.com. Wherever you are right now and however you're feeling, please know that we are thinking of you and sending all our love.